This is our Wednesday night channeling, number 195, December the 18th, 1991. Our title is Christ Consciousness. And I feel the Master's presence tonight, and in this writing also. To be Christed is to be anointed with light, divine light. The Father's light of understanding fills your whole being that goes far, far beyond physical understanding. It flows into knowing, spiritual knowing. The anointment of light divine quickens every cell and atom of your being, not just on the physical level, also on every dimension of the total of life that you are. The Christ consciousness lifts you to the knowing of the reality of your true being. You know that you and the Father are one, with no separation, that you and the Creator and all life are one. In the Christ consciousness, you are above anything that is less than godly. The pull of the lower realms of negativity and illusion has no place in the Christ consciousness. You and all of God's children are on your way to meeting this experience. The timing is up to you. How you handle or react to the props on this stage of illusion has much to do with the time you reach this place in consciousness. Also, the amount of quality time you spend discovering the true nature of your being brings you closer to the realization of divine love, how to use it and live it in your daily living. Let's have a quiet time and close our eyes, relax our body, and allow ourselves to be at one with ourselves and one with the circle of light that reaches out to encompass the whole of life in this universe or any other. Let us lift our thoughts to that high spiritual level, that frequency of divine love and light, where those beings of shining light abide. They are reaching down to us as we reach up to them. And we are aware of many other from other dimensions that are with us tonight, sharing this experience, feeling the oneness as we feel the oneness with them. Thank you, Father. My little ones, I come to you in joy and love and the light of understanding that fills this room to overflowing. I come from the heart of the Father, who has asked me to convey to you his joy with your being here, his great love for you and all of his creation. But there is a special place in my heart for those of you who come together in groups like this to be a channel for the Father to manifest through on these lower realms, to give an example for those who, whether they know it or not, are reaching for the Father's hand, are reaching for the spiritual reality of their being. You, my dear ones, have come apace, and you are on your way to the enlightenment that you deserve. You in this room are taking the time to be in harmony with yourself, to be at one with yourself and all of life, to remember who you truly are, and we commend you for it. It is such a wonderful, beautiful experience to look from these realms and see you moving from where you were to where you are now and to where you will be, for you are truly on the path. You are one with the Father, and you know it. Each day, the realization of your divine being becomes more clear to you. Each day, you understand the Father's love a little more. Each hour, you are sending His love and letting yourself be an open channel for the Creator of all life to work through. It is something to be grateful for, to know that you can be an open channel. And the only requirement, my dear ones, is willingness. It matters not what your past has been, what you're doing now. All you need to do is to be willing and to ask to be that open channel for God's love to flow through. In this time of accelerated change, you are the soldiers on the front line, so to speak. You are on the front line, bringing light into the darkness, bringing understanding where ignorance has been. For whenever you change your consciousness, whenever you gain understanding, it goes out into the ethers, and it affects the whole of mankind. This may be difficult for you to accept and to believe, but I tell you truly, it is so. And we who watch over you from these realms of love and light feel the joy as we see you moving higher in consciousness, as we see you moving out of your old ruts into a greater understanding. And we see the light that you call the aura around you changing, and it is different, for you are different. You are moving toward the light, and the light is filling you to overflowing. In the Christ consciousness that you will someday reach, for you are on your way, you will have the complete freedom of knowing the truth with no doubts or reservations whatsoever. You will have that complete freedom of knowing the Father personally. For you and the Father are one now, but your realization of this has come a long way for some of you, and some of you who have just begun have come quite a ways in a short time. I tell you truly that God's love is shining its light ahead of you to show you the path that leads to the Father's heart, the Father's throne, where you and He join together, even in your conscious awareness. There are times when you have this feeling of oneness, and then you move into the world and go about your daily things, and it slips a little, but you do go back to it. And when you reach the place where it is a natural, ongoing, permanent, without ceasing experience, then you are very close to the Christ consciousness. Know this in your being, the deepest parts of your being, that you are on your way to reaching this Christ consciousness, that you and all of God's children are. You who are making the strides towards the light are leading the way, and you are setting patterns for many, many others who know not what they seek, and they try many things to feed that inner hunger. Know the truth of this, that whatever they are doing, it is a desire to be one with God and to experience the love that God is, even though they know it not. And when you go astray at times, remember this, that whatever led you from the path was just a temporary thing, and it may have been an investigation of something, thinking that you can take a shortcut. I tell you, my dear ones, there is a shortcut, and it is divine love. You have been told this many times, and we will continue to tell you this until you discover it in the depths of your heart, that it is already there, until you understand it, until the realization of the God being that you are comes to the full conscious awareness. We are here, shining the light on your path, helping you in every way that you will let us, for we love you so dearly. You give us much, much pleasure and much understanding, for you are making the effort, so to speak. You are reaching out, and you are gaining, and we love you for this. We love all of God's creations, but we have to stand aside for many who are not yet ready to experience the things that you have experienced, the things that you are experiencing, the growth that you are moving, that you are using to move in to that higher consciousness. As you move toward the light of understanding, remember, my dear ones, that God's love is the key to all things, to all experiences, to accomplish anything that you desire. For in true reality, it is the understanding and the realization of divine love that you are seeking, and that hunger that is within you that is not satisfied by outer things is a hunger for the understanding and the true realization of divine love. When I say this, I mean that you understand what God's love is. You understand how to use it in your every thought, word, and deed, in every situation and every encounter. And as you move farther and farther toward the light of understanding, this realization becomes stronger, and we encourage you in every way that we can to make another step toward this light of understanding, and to assimilate this understanding into your consciousness so that it is truly yours, building that foundation strong and solid as you go, so that it will stand under any pressure, under any illusion that comes your way on these lower realms. This builds your spiritual muscles, my dear ones. When you meet and overcome these experiences, this play on a stage, and you see through it and understand it for what it truly is, and you know that there is much, much more to life. There is much waiting for you to experience. Do not rush too much into finding it, but build your foundation as you go, and have that solid realization so that you can hang on to it, so that it is yours. Whatever little bit that you accomplish it, make it yours on a permanent basis by building it into your foundation of understanding. God's love fills this room, and there are many, many here from other dimensions than yours, from many dimensions, and they are sharing and bathing in the light and the love that is here, and they are being fed, as you're being fed, the spiritual food that fills your soul and gives you the fulfillment that is the realization of your true being. It fills you full of divine love and light. And as David said, my cup runneth over, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. My dear ones, when he said, my head is anointed with oil, in those days that was a cleansing process. The oil that was used on their bodies. And in the true meaning, or the spiritual meaning, it means that he had reached a place in consciousness where he was anointed with divine light, and that it filled him to overflowing and gave him the understanding that brought him to a higher place in consciousness that moved him into greater experiences on this physical plane. And I tell you, he is now a giant on the spiritual planes, for he knew and understood that which he truly is. You are moving into this understanding. Do not allow yourself to feel guilt or anger or frustration when you slip or fall back a little. Just say to yourself, "Thank you, Father, for this experience. I ask your light of understanding to give me the realization of why this happened and what I can gain from it. And I ask for your love to fill my heart, to give me the courage to continue without reservation, to know that you are always there, no matter what the physical plane throws at me, or no matter what it appears to be." I tell you, my dear ones, listen not to the illusion tales of the physical plane, for they are untrue. They bring fear to the hearts of many in your country and in the world that you live in. And when you look and see the things that are happening around you, see with the eye, with the inner eye, that these are experiences that everyone is going through. And at this time, my dear ones, is the time of enlightenment. This is the time of bringing everything up to the surface and shining the light into everything so that all is known and no one can hide from the truth. Realize this and let it be something to be grateful for, to help you to clean your house, to help you to understand the great, great power of divine love, and use it lavishly, first on yourself, and then send it out to the whole of life, and allow God to direct its course. Remember that you are pioneers, that you are going ahead, paving the way for those yet to come. In your new age, as you call it, many, many will awaken to the realization of their true nature. You are very close to this. Some of you have it for a little while, and then you lose it, and then you go back to it. You are very close to hanging on to it as a permanent thing, something that you have deep within your being that comes out to the surface of your conscious awareness, and soon, very soon, it is yours on a continuous basis, and you know who you are. You understand it to the point that you can live it. And as you move closer and closer to this time of the Christ consciousness, know that nothing can stop you, no matter what the world seems to be, no matter what the outer conditions appear to be. They are illusion. The reality of your being dwells within you, within the inner worlds of divine love and light. Remember this, and let not anything come between you and God, for nothing is more important than how you are with God. Nothing, my dear ones, is more important to you than your relationship with the Creator of all that is. You are, my beloved friends, and I wish you to know, and to know it clearly, that I have gone through all the experiences that you and everyone on this planet have gone through. I have gone ahead a little ways, and I set the pattern for you to go by. Remember that I am with you at all moments of your existence. The Father and I are one. The Father dwells within you, for He is the life force that you are, and I am there by your side. And this is true for everyone on your planet. And for those who can become aware of this, can take great advantage of the power and the love and the joy and the light to grow in great strides towards the Christ consciousness that you are all reaching for, whether you are conscious of it or not.
But
as we stand on the brink of great discovery on your plane, there is much, much ahead for you to discover in your lifetime, in this incarnation, for things are changing rapidly on your plane, and they will continue to change rapidly. And this change is alarming many on your plane because they do not know how to identify with the spiritual truths, and they only live in a materialistic world. And the materialistic world seems to be falling apart. But my dear ones, this is only change for the better. This is change into your new age that is there waiting for you to awaken to it. In someone's thoughts is the second coming, and your book, the Bible, talks about the second coming. And my dear ones, I would have you know that the second coming happens within you, not in the outer world. I am always with you, but your second coming is the awakening of your inner self to bring it forth to the outer conscious awareness of your God being. And this is happening little by little in those who are reaching for the light. And it is awakening many who have no understanding of spiritual reality. And they are there waiting for you to show them the way. This does not always mean that you play a role as Donald is, but that you take your light into every phase of your life, that you take the light of God's divine love with you into your every thought, word, and deed as best you can, and let it shine forth
You've got the tower to be put down.
You need not shout it from the mountaintops or the rooftops. All you need to do is to be that loving being of light that you are. And as you change and clean house of the illusions from the past, the light shines brighter through you, and you are a much clearer channel for God's love to flow through. And others become aware of it, and their souls are hungry, and they will see this change, and they will want it too. There are many workers from this side of the realm of the from the veil, on this side of the veil, who are working with each one on your plane. And when their time has come for them to turn from the outer illusions to the inner reality, their helpers, their guardian angels, their teachers and guides are there, and they have direction on up the line, straight from the Father's heart, through many, many who are working with this planet, and they know how to help according to the ability of the individual to accept this help, to be open for it, and to assimilate it. They do not overfeed. They give you and others that are awakening what you can comprehend at the moment. They give you the understanding and the light that you can stand. And this opens you and others a little bit more. And as you build your foundation strong and solid, then you stand upon it, and you are ready for more understanding. You're ready for more realization. And it is always there waiting for you, my dear ones. Know this, that God's love is all-encompassing. It is all-powerful. And it is all that is. When you find and discover a little bit of understanding of divine love, this opens a door for you to learn more about it. There is nothing more important than your understanding and the realization of God's love, what it is not, how you can use it for your growth. Ask daily for more light on your path to have this understanding. As you ask, you see you give your free will to those who are helping you from these other dimensions. You ask, you open the door, and this is helping them to help you much more. Remember to ask often and to be open. In this holiday season, in your country and on your planet, is a great advantage to sending God's love, for more are open at this time than at any other time in your year. Remember to send God's love lavishly And remember to send it to yourself also, for it is the answer. And as it flows through you to help others, it automatically helps you. I tell you, there's nothing greater in the universe, in all of life, than divine love. For everything that is made from the substance of God's love. Let us pause at this place in our talk and give you the opportunity to express your thoughts, your feelings, to ask questions if you will, and to be open to share yourself at this time in this circle of light, to share your feelings, to share your experiences if you wish, and allow yourself to feel free to do this.
Thank you for this blessed lesson.
Annabelle, speak a little louder, would you please?
Thank you for this blessed lesson.
Yes. It comes from the Father, and it is the Father that sent me to your circle this evening. I would have you know that.
You feel it. You feel it.
For his presence is here in great abundance, and he knows the strides that you have made. He knows that your longing for freedom from these lower realms is great. And realize, my dear ones, that he walks the path with you. He feels the feelings that you feel. He thinks the thoughts that you think. He feels the pain that you have, and he feels the joy that you have. For you and the Father are one, and I am beside you all the way. Are there thoughts or comments that you would make this evening? Feel free to be at ease, to be relaxed, and feel at one with yourself, enough to communicate and to join in. Are there thoughts that you would express or questions that you would ask? There are many things that you could speak of. There are many questions that you could ask me personally. There is much to understand. There's much that you already know. And as I have expressed the truths that have come through me, that you have brought through this channel and through this messenger from God, you have pulled each word, each thought, each idea through. For it is your circle of light, my dear ones. It is your time of rejoicing. And whether you know it or not, you have asked the questions that have been spoken this evening and brought the understanding to your conscious awareness. Much of you know these truths intellectually, and you are learning, my dear ones, to live these truths. Would you be open enough to join in?
Is it true that each country has its own prophet, or each segment of people, like the Christians, have Jesus?
Yes, it is true.
If that is true, and if we teach love and if they teach love, is it the same statements? Why can we not get the different religions to see eye to eye Or is that important?
Yes, it is important. And when you eliminate the fear, you see, then each will know that we are all one and that there is no separation. There is much fear, much more than you realize, in these different religions and organizations, or whatever you'd like to call them. And each one, or most of them I should say, think that theirs is the only one. This is a great mistake, but it is because of fear that they claim this. They are afraid they will be left out. You see, no one is left out of the circle of life. We are all one in God. We can be nothing else. It would be impossible to not be one with God and one with all of life. Just as this thumb is a part of this body, and it is fed by the same bloodstream that feeds the whole body, so are each individual in the whole of life fed from the life force that God is projecting. And this life force connects us all. But through fear that has been passed down from generation to generation, and the young ones are programmed as they are young, and they hold on to this programming, knowing not the full truth. Each one of the countries and the different religions have part of the truth. None of them have the whole truth. But even though they have the fear, they are moving toward releasing this fear and replacing it with love. It may seem very slow to you, but it is happening. We can see it from here. And there will come a time very shortly. I'm using your phraseologies and using time a great deal this evening to communicate with you, even though there is no time. But there will come a place in consciousness where the Father will send those in the different religions, the different countries that have the truth, and bring it with them when they incarnate. Some of them are already here, and they are waiting for the right moment to step into the leadership and allow all to become one. You are seeing this happening now in some of your world. You are seeing the rapid changes in Russia. That is an example of what is to come in all countries. Your country, my dear ones, has much to learn in living together in peace with each other and eliminating the greed that it has, another form of fear. And as you learn, as your leaders learn, and you select your leaders, as you learn to select the leaders and to attract them with your consciousness, then you will attract those who know the truth and will not have the fear to try to grab everything in sight and nail it down for their own use, but they will be true statesmen. The Father has sent the word down through his helpers, and these ones are, some of them are in place now, and others will be in place as you move into your golden age. As a whole, the masses of your people can only assimilate so much at one time. And so we have to go as fast or as slowly as not you as an individual, but the whole can accept it and assimilate it, and to realize that there is no shortage or lack of anything. This is the great fear that is abound in your world at this time, that you have a recession, you call it. There is no such thing, my dear ones, for there is no lack. There is just fear that creates this concept, and it is passed on through your media and others accept it and believe it and cause it to be, or to appear to be, I should say. But in true reality, there is an abundance of everything, and in your golden age you will come to this realization as a whole in the people, and you will find many things, many new things coming in to your conscious awareness that you can use, and you will soon realize that life is abundant everywhere present, not just in your country, not just in another country, but is abundant everywhere. And when you eliminate this fear of lack, then those who struggle to be the leaders, their motivation is not to so much to help you. There are few that have the correct motivation, but the motivation for so many is power, and the power to gather to themselves all the material things that they can gather. And you're seeing this now. It is all coming out to the surface. This is a time of enlightenment, and this time will be over, and then the understanding will come that you need not fear, and the greed will subside, and everyone will think of others even as they think of themselves, and they will give freely of their talents, of whatever they have, to their neighbor. And as you think about this, if everyone was open to give to everyone else, there would be no hunger in your world. Are there other questions or comments that you would make?
I think day after day of all of those miles and miles and miles of soldiers who refuse to fight, I think that's the most wonderful miracle that has happened for many and many a day.
Yes.
And while that happens, it gives you faith, and at the same time you see all these people like these bank foreclosures. You see how when they've worked and worked and worked and struggled for self, it all falls apart and nothing.
Yes.
And I think it makes you got a face that goodness is in the driver's seat. God is in the driver's seat. You can't help but feel it.
Yes, you see, whatever you plant, whatever you sow, so shall you reap. And when your motivation in your sowing is selfishness, then you reap
Like
the harvest of selfishness.
It's like a revolving door. You get out what you send out back again with accumulated interest.
Yes. And when you sow for the good of all and are open to help your neighbor in whatever way that they ask or that you see that you can help, then shall the new age dawn, and everyone will have everything that they could possibly want and much more.
I find when I start getting frightened, if I'll just say, God is protecting me, God is protecting me, and keep that up for a while, all of a sudden, it's true. I mean, it's true to me, where before it was, I was jittery, and it just seems to bring peace with it.
Yes. In David's 23rd Psalms, Donald used this quite often when he was breaking away from the material world. The first phrase of this, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." And as you think of this, as you realize it, that all supply comes from the one source, supply of love, supply of bread, supply of friendship and relationships, supply of feeling that closeness and that oneness. It is all there, my dear ones. It is there waiting for you to reach out and accept it, for it is yours. It always has been, and it always will be. Are there other questions or comments that you would make?
Well, the Desert Storm War brought very rapidly understanding, appreciation, realization of the likeness of the Muslim religion. At least many people found it has love in it. Muhammad said, "Jesus went before me as a prophet, and now I bring love. Maybe you'll listen this time." We've gotten the Eastern philosophies accepted more in this country. What other signs should we look for that we're not alone in our struggle to get together?
When I was in your physical, that you knew me as Jesus, I was asked for a sign. Do you remember the answer?
There will be no sign given.
Yes. You see, the answers are all within you, and until you learn to reach within and see the handwriting on the wall, until you learn to do for yourself, then you will always be reaching outside of yourself for the answers. You must learn to reach within, and this is why I did not stay in the body any longer. The ones who had followed me and had received a bit of light needed to do it themselves. As the mother bird kicks the baby bird out of the nest and teaches it to feed itself, then it is on its own. And it is true with you on these lower dimensions. You have lost your way in a sense, and you have become blinded to the true reality of being, and you ask for a sign, you ask for enlightenment. When you ask yourself, for you have all the answers. And when you learn to bring those answers from within outward to your conscious awareness, then do you become the master. Then you need not ask anyone. There will be many signs in your new age. There will be many changes, and you will see them and recognize them. You already have seen many, and there are others yet to come. You who have reached inward and learned to understand a little of the truth, have enough light to make your own way now. And if you feel that you do not, ask the inner. In a sense, I am coming to you in an outer way, speaking through this channel. But your teachers and your guides are there beside you at all times. And when you learn to discern their presence and you ask them for help, they do not speak to you directly as I am speaking to you. They give you impressions. They give you a little light. And if you are open, you will see, you will understand. If you are not, you will continue to ask and seek and knock until you are open, because the answers are always there within you. The answers to all things are within you. This is where you should look. I do not condemn you for asking. I only explain that you already know that which you have asked. Do you understand?
I think so, and that means that since maybe 1% is ready for this knowledge and light, that we have only ourselves to work on, and that's all we should really be most concerned with.
Yes. But as you raise your consciousness, you see, you exude a light, a divine light. The vibrations are higher. Others around you see this and know it, even if it's on an unconscious level, and they seek and reach for this understanding that they see within you. And they may not see it within you as a personality, but they will feel that something has touched them, and it will quicken them to the place where they will stop giving so much attention to the outer and learn to go within.
You can look at people, and people you've seen right along, and they look one way, and all of a sudden you look at them, and you see God in every feature. You just see God pouring through that individual, and you know that that individual is absolutely honest. You feel a terrific impact. And that happened to me the other day, and I was so thankful. I was so thankful. It was such a wonderful blessing.
Yes. Now I would have you to look for it in everyone that you come in contact with.
Then you have it.
For it is there. in everyone, and when you look for it, in a sense, you're sending them a certain vibration, is the only way that I can think to say it to you, that may quicken their understanding. When you see them as evil, you see, as you learn thoughts or things and they go directly to their mark, then you are pushing them down. But when you look beyond what appears to be evil and see the God within them, then this helps to bring it forth into their conscious awareness. It may not come forth for a year or many lifetimes, but you have planted a seed, and it will take root. Are there other thoughts or questions this evening?
Yes, there was one you mentioned earlier in the tape that about the second coming, and mankind anticipates that it will be in the form of a Christ in a human form. But then you mentioned that it will take place, solely within us, and that means that there will not be another, Christ that will come in human form.
There will be many who awaken and be Christed in this new age. This is the most opportune time to be in the physical in the history of your planet. But in every Aquarian age, as you call it, in every golden age, there is much more power, divine power, upon your planet. And it can be used to awaken to the truth. But at this time, when these other two suns are coming into alignment with your sun, and one of them already is, your Earth is receiving some of the vibrations from a little bit of this sun, just an edge has come in alignment with your sun. But as the age moves forward, both of these suns will come in alignment with your sun and your planet, and this will lift your planet up to a self-illuminating star. And as you move through this experience, whether you are on this side of the veil or whether you are in the physical, you can go with the planet and have that experience. In a sense, the planet and the soul and the spirit of this planet is being Christed.
How long are these ages between these?
Your astrologers say 2,100 and some odd years, and this is very near to accurate. So you have just begun this new age, maybe 100 years, 150 years, but the influence was there even before that. But now you have this all ahead of you, and if you can keep yourself in alignment with yourself and the God within you, then you will be able to raise your vibratory rate to be in alignment with the planet and these other suns, and can have this experience, which is something that is totally undescribable to you at this place in your consciousness. This has happened to many other planets in the universe, but this is the time for your planet to have this experience, and it is the time for everyone connected with your planet to have this experience. Whether you choose to take advantage of this or not is up to you, for the Father has given you the freedom to choose. But I point out to you that if you do choose to give enough time in your daily living to learning to love yourself, learning to understand the Father and His love, and learning to live it, then you are keeping up with the vibratory rate of the rapid, accelerated changes. There's another thought about this, that you will see your world come to an end. As Donald has said, since he has been born or incarnated into this incarnation, the world has come to an end many times. Many, maybe the wrong word, but several times. It is not the same world that he was born into. And then in 20 years it was not the same world again, and so on. And you can look back on your life's experience and see the changes that have taken place. And it is not the same world that you were incarnated in. And this will continue to happen, but now it is accelerating, and it will happen rapidly. And this is what you must understand, to not resist this change, but to flow with the current, no matter what it appears to be. For my dear ones, there is no duality, there is no good or evil. Life is, period. At this particular time, you have been told that those who are playing the role of the villain, you might say, have to have their chance. But soon the vibrations will be too high for them to incarnate on this planet, and they will have to go to another place and carry on their evolution if they do not choose to go with the flow of these rapid changes. But you who have a little understanding of this have the opportunity to do this. And it does not take willpower. It is not difficult. It is a matter of looking through the illusions of this plane and seeing the truth that you have been taught and living this truth.
The Russians, the world is ending on the new year.
Yes, their world has come to an end, and they are starting another phase. And there may be some upheavals in their change because there are many views, but they will come together as all the planet will come together as one. And there will be very few leaders as you think of them now. For as each individual learns the truth, they do not have to be led. They know within themselves the reality of their being, and so they do not have to be governed. They can find that inner leaders, the leaders from these other dimensions above and beyond your physical plane. And when you learn to make that contact and keep it alive, then you see the answers are all within you. And if you do not find them in your consciousness, you can ask your helpers, your teachers and guides. You can ask me. I am always there. And if you will listen with the inner ear, you will hear and you will know. There's much more that could be said this evening. There's much more that your hearts desire to know, but maybe you have had enough for one evening. I want you to know that God loves you very much, as I do, and that your teachers and guides love you enough to dedicate themselves to being with you and to guiding you when you will let them, and they are patient when you do not let them. Remember to send them God's love often through the day. This will help to make that contact and help them to help you. God bless each and every one of you.
Happy birthday.
God bless you.
Thank you for coming. And come again.
Yes, my dear one, I am always here. Good evening.
This is a beautiful lesson.
And that's good.
And
Or
Well, I can see the love that's on your faces. It is a beautiful experience to have the Master come and be with us and share himself with us. You have the opportunity of this every moment of your life. And when you come to a circle like this and experience what you experienced tonight, realize that it is always there. And if you open your inner ear to hear, your teachers, your guides, and the Master is always speaking to you. They're always communicating with you through love. I guess the channeling's still going on. Shall we stand and hold hands? As we hold hands and come together, let us invite the Master to be in our circle and hold each one of our hands, and all of our teachers and guides, and all of those in the balcony who have come to learn from other dimensions as we have come to learn. And let this love reach out to the whole of life, to every one of God's children. Feel the love building up around this circle, gaining momentum, filling this room, spreading out over this planet, and going out to the whole universe. Let us see God's love going out to those who are a little more open at this time of year, and touching them in a special way, because they are seeking even though they know it not. And let us see it go ahead of us into this holiday season to teach us and to reach higher in consciousness. Thank you, Father.
But they took on the court, and I wanted to be a tape of that. I don't want the picture. It's really good.
I was just saw it earlier.
Yeah, but Emily is early. We could have since it's here. I've been to Pine Heaven. We don't. And you did send you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And then I want to go.
That was a beautiful work.
Mitzi, did everyone? Mitzi, never here.
When you see that, you know what?
No, but
Thank you. Thank you. Caveat. I will just all screw. What's back so good? He's so cool. Wait, I want to say thank you. Thank you.
Serious stuff. Any questions?
As a God bless.
Thank you, you too. Kathy Holland. Trying to
A baby called Diamond for Christmas.
Okay, folks. But it's correctly.
Yeah. So where picture on it.
Wow, better up.
Gee, I bet you did with Dad.
Oh, no, why did I
In the name,
You were lucky to have a mission still. I
Yeah.
had 5, but we were all scattered over the U.S. These are fresh theologians.
And I feel like
we're the number.
Irony. Could you too about this?
God bless you in advance. You're how very, very.
All good.
It's always nice to see you. This reminder, it's always nice to see you.
It's nice to feel pretty behind.
Can I get a hug from the one about?
I think you can't touch your grandchildren.
Well, I hope I live long
I
enough.
thought you people too.
Did anyone turn the tape over? They did.
Maybe 120.
I thought you had family.
Yeah.